No, I'm not pregnant. My editor wants to know my favorite way to eat potatoes. I have a soft spot in my heart for mashed potatoes. Good morning, good life. Welcome back to AmyTV, where we come together to help you go after the life you want. And today is a very special episode of Q&A. Questions and Amy. I am filming in my closet again. I haven't done this in a while. Last time I did this was for my beauty routine, so giving it a try today, mostly because my husband kicked me out of the office. So it's one of those things where it's like, whose work is more important today? And it's like, oh, yeah, we can't do that. It's the balance of work from home. So get over yourself. Pick another room. I'm like, okay. So today I just wanted to do a Q&A, really easy, quick, not a whole lot of lead in. I just want to jump into it because I just haven't done one in a while. As a matter of fact, the only Q&As I've really been doing have been in my membership groups. So if you are working on your morning routine, maybe you see me do Q&A in Shine Squad. And if you're working on your business, maybe you've seen me do Q&A in the GATLUW Society. But other than that, haven't done a Q&A on a public level a lot lately. And so I thought it'd be fun to do that here on our little Wednesday convening of AmyTV. So I went to my Instagram because it's my favorite place in the world to hang out when I allow myself to be on my smartphone, except for, chatting with you here on YouTube, of course. You know, you're number one here. Yeah, you know. And I just went and asked you what you want to know. So I'm just going to do my very, very, very best to get through these questions, even though they don't seem to end. We're gonna try. Okay. Let's do an easy one. Let's do favorite Starbucks order. My favorite Starbucks order is I love like a nice chai latte. So when they did the Oprah latte, like it was like, I think that was like the spicier one that they had for a little while. That was so good. But I will get a grande iced chai when I'm treating myself, by the way. A grande iced chai with unsweetened almond milk in it. That hits the spot. I absolutely love that. And I also really love their sausage, egg, and cheese sandwich because it makes me feel like I'm eating McDonald's, even though I don't let myself go to McDonald's ever. Like, I love McDonald's breakfast so much, but I don't let myself eat it. For whatever reason, the Starbucks sandwich has taken its place, not because it's necessarily healthier, but because if I'm treating myself, I'm doing it at Starbucks and not at McDonald's, so I feel more like an adult. And this is the part I knew was going to happen. It has been so bright in this room, and I don't have that many lights to work with today. So now it's going to be real dark because the sun's changing. And it's a Q&A video, which means it's going to take a really long time. So we're just going to have to suffer through that, as usual. As much as it annoys me, I just can't do anything about it, so oh well. Oh, somebody said closet organization. I didn't even know somebody said that, and I'm sitting in my closet right now. So really, really brief. I do think that it would be kind of cool to do a closet tour, but because I've brought the vlogs back over on my Schmatastic channel, which is now called Amy Landino Offline, I really think it would make more sense to do it over there in like a vlog format. So just in case you didn't know, kind of going on a tangent here, we are publishing now Monday and Wednesday and Friday. Monday and Wednesday here on AmyTV on this channel. Make sure you're subscribed. But on Fridays, if you're into that vlog life, if you really just can't get enough and want to see like the ins and outs of the behind the scenes and what home life has been like for me mostly, because I'm not really leaving the house that much, check out Amy Landino Offline. So you subscribe to my vlog channel as well. And if you want to see like what I used to be like when I first started video, that's a very interesting rabbit hole channel to go down because I don't delete anything. You can go and look at whatever I was doing 10 years ago on YouTube to get my start. I actually find that to be interesting. I wonder if my grandkids are going to be completely mortified or enjoy it. I guess it depends on their outlook on life. So I think I'm going to do a closet tour. It'll probably be in a vlog over on Amy Landino Offline. The overall gist of this room is all of the, I like reused my old bookshelves. You can tell these are two of the old bookshelves that were in the old AmyTV episodes in my last apartment. I just turned those into handbag and shoe compartmentalization. And then over here, I just ordered sort of like the deep wardrobe, just hanging stuff. It's all IKEA. The lights my husband ordered on Amazon, you can't see them here, but they're the top of them, there's lights. I have a remote control for those. But I also just ordered a couple things from Amazon the other day, and I did put them in a vlog. I don't know if, no, that vlog's not going to be out quite yet, but I have put it on my Amazon list, so it should be on my Shine Squad Secrets Instagram. If you don't know, oh my God, maybe we need to do an overview of the Instagram. I was finding that like socks, underwear, bras needed a little bit of help to get organized, so I found really, really, really great organizers on Amazon. I highly recommend. They already make me feel so much better when I'm getting in there. Like, not gonna lie, not wearing a lot of bras lately other than sports bras, but you get what I'm saying. They gotta look nice in the drawer. The other thing I highly recommend is if you have boots, I've put this on Shine Squad Secrets as well. They have inserts in them to help them stand upright. So if you have slouchy boots or like the kind that just kind of fall over because it's just the nature of how they were styled, I really love those, and they obviously stand up and they look nice in the closet. So no matter if your closet's hidden away or out in the open like mine, I really, really, really love those inserts. It was like one of the first things I think I talked about in Shine Squad. I was like, if you don't have these, you need to get them. The only other thing I would say is that because of Marie Kondo, I have a box. It's sitting on this little shelf here. You can't see it. It's the handbag box. And everything that's in my handbag goes in that box so that my handbags are always empty and always clean when they're in the closet. So I know when I go to grab the bag that I need to leave the house with, which hasn't happened a lot lately, I just go to the handbag box to grab all the stuff that I need. So my wallet, my lipsticks, anything I need, like my mask, stuff like that is all sitting in the handbag box. So I loved that tip from her, that it was like, you know, you hate to grab a purse and something not be in there, but at the same time, we usually like trash the inside of our handbags because we just keep leaving all the junk in there. So those are my quick closet organization tips, but I think I could kind of go over that more in depth. Velvet hangers, blah, blah, blah. So many questions about motivation. What is your biggest motivation of why to get you to do what you love so much? How do you stay motivated to achieve your dreams, even if the rest of the world seems impossible? How do you keep going every day? What motivates you the most? I think this is so important. Like, if you actually think I'm motivated every day, I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt that I am not. Quarantine was really interesting too, because it was like at the beginning, I was like very excited about the fact that I had all this extra time of not commuting and not having to be different places. And so in the beginning, I was like massively productive. We got a new website completely launched in less than a couple of weeks. There was a lot going on there. And then I kind of went through a different like period of time where I was like, I feel like I may be pushing myself too much, so I'm going to pull back. The biggest thing that I've noticed about motivation and the way that it populates, I guess, in your life is that you have to, first of all, really respect seasons. Like, going through seasons of your life is really important, and just saying, I'm not going to be who I was yesterday every time. I would ideally like to be better. We're always shooting to be a better version of ourselves than we were yesterday. But staying motivated just means allowing yourself to be human and not having to be perfect all the time. The other thing is I'm very, very clear on my why and what I do on a day-to-day basis. In terms of the big picture, I would not still be making YouTube videos after 10 years if it was all about me being on camera. That is actually like my least favorite part of all of this, even though I'm like, gotta get my hair done, like, that's just a part of the nature of it. If the vision of like people have been able to stretch further, do more, achieve their goals, just try something new and see the light because I sat down and had a conversation about it and opened that up for them, that's what changes the game for me. Just knowing that people are going after the lives they want and I get to be a part of that journey. So that's really important to have that in mind. The whys of why that matters to my daily life. I like the fact that I have freedom. I like that I don't report to anyone. I like that I'm the boss. That's something to learn over a period of time, and you get accustomed to the good and the bad of it. But overall, I wouldn't trade it for the world. So I know that even if I'm not super motivated today, that if I do anything to just let that fall off for long, long, long periods of time, I'm not going to be able to sustain this lifestyle, and I might have to shut everything down. And then I think about, wow, that would let a lot of people down. Certainly would let me down because I love what I'm doing. So that's like the underlying thing that keeps me from procrastinating on a massively self-destructive level. But there are days where I'm like, no, I'm just not doing anything today. And because of the really good days, you can have some of those other days that are less good and you just give yourself a pass. And I have the freedom to do that. If I didn't have the freedom to do that, I think I would be in a totally different mental state, which is why I'm helping people in the GATLUW Society, because I think people should think about it for themselves. So there's that. Then there's just like the everyday stuff. Like my morning routine keeps me level. Doing a workout, like today I knew I was going to film film 2 videos today, and I was like, oh, I need some energy for that. I got on the spin bike. I did a 5-minute warm-up, I did the 30-minute class, and then I did a 5-minute cool down, and then I did a 5-minute stretch. Like, I let myself have a really long extended period of time instead of trying to rush through one 20 to 30 minute workout. I knew I was going to need all the energy that was going to help me with. So doing things like that you know work, testing things, seeing what works for you, and then allowing it to work when you really need it is huge. My mom also just tells me all the essential oils I need at any moment depending on where my mood's at, so that's really helpful as well. Oh my gosh. Oh, this is okay. I was not sure how this was going to come up, but I have been keeping a secret poorly for more than a year, since April of 2019. And here it is in a question. Did you get Invisalign? If so, can you share your experience? Yes and no. I didn't get Invisalign. I went to my dentist, and, you know, a lot of things just sort of happened after my brother died at the end of 2018, where I was like, there's not that much time left. You never know. I need straight teeth. So I was like, Johnny had straight teeth. I want straight teeth because, like, my brothers ended up getting braces when they were younger, but my sister and I didn't. So I was like at my dentist. I was getting my normal cleaning, and I was like, I think I want to do braces. And I want the invisible kind. The kind that they use at their office is a line called Clear Correct. And I was very, very happy with the Clear Correct experience. I will say this, the first 24 to 48 hours, I have this like itch on my nose, but I don't want my makeup to come off. So this is me itching my nose. The first 24 to 48 hours of Clear Correct or Invisalign or putting any foreign objects in your mouth to straighten your teeth is a nightmare. I wish I would have canceled all of my meetings for those 2 days, because when you're talking unnecessarily while your mouth is getting used to these things it was awful. Like, I was getting cold sores right away just from the edges of the braces. Like, just my mouth wasn't used to that, right? So that was awful. And I will say it took a lot longer than I anticipated. They were supposed to only take, it was like sold to me for like, it'll take 6 months because your teeth are pretty good. And then I was like, okay. Then they get the things done, and it takes like 2 months for all of your trays to get made, or maybe less than that. I think it depends. But then it's like, oh, now it's 9 months. And I was like, that's a long time. That's like a year. And then I went to like Italy, and there's only so fast you can move the trays. You have to wear them for 3 weeks. So it was like, well, I'm going to Italy and I'm going to be gone at the 3-week mark. So now I have to wait an extra 1 or 2 weeks till I get back to change my trays again. So just stuff like that would come up where like the schedule got changed, and then we got to the end of the 9 months and I still had a couple of things that were crooked, you know, whatever. And then it was like, okay, well, you've paid for you to be done whenever you get done. Like, once you pay the fee, they will keep making trays for you until you're happy, which I think is fantastic. I think I'm on my second to last one right now. Quarantine obviously changed a lot there. The other thing is that they kind of put these buttons on your teeth. I was really surprised I didn't get a lot of people saying, you have buttons on your teeth. You have little crusty things on your teeth. Nobody seemed to notice, which is good for me. But during significant shifting periods, they need to do that to lock in the trays. I have had them removed now, so I don't have that. I just have one more tray left, and then I'll have technically another tray, I think, after that, or something like that, where it plays the role of a retainer, and then I just have to wear a retainer at night forever to keep them straight. And that was a very easy thing for me to sign up for. You know how I am with my morning routine, my evening routine, my everything routine. Like, you add something to my nighttime routine, I'm happy about it. I'm not sad. I'm like, okay, cool. We'll keep like this retainer in my mouth at night so I have straight teeth all the time going forward. So I'm actually very excited. My teeth have changed a lot. If you look at videos of me at the beginning of 2019 compared to now, you can tell a really big difference if you're looking. But overall, my teeth were in pretty good shape for a long time. It was just for me. So maybe I'll smile more now? I don't know. Very happy about it. If you have the money to do it and you have been feeling like it's holding you back, I definitely recommend it. And I had a very, very good experience with Clear Correct. How can I change my mindset? It is my biggest struggle. So I think if somebody is of the mindset that they know their mindset is not good, that's a really positive thing, in the sense that you know that you're holding yourself back in terms of how you think. So I'll give you an example. For me, one of my biggest issues is scarcity, right? So I have a hard time with scarcity, just like growing up, you know, when you just are taught that like money doesn't grow on trees. If you internalize the crap out of that, you think that like money is a very, 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 very difficult thing to get. Now, you have to work hard for money, but at the same time, I can make lots of money in comparison to how much time I can make. I can't make any time. I just get to enjoy the time I have. You kind of go through your life and you have these different mindset challenges, and scarcity is one of them. Money or time or just anything in general. I'll give you an example. I just bought these slippers, and they're slippers I love because I got them as a gift 2 years ago, and I find myself still putting on the old ones because I'm like, oh, I don't want to dive right into the new ones, right? To me, that's a scarcity connection. So I'm like, no, Amy, put your new ones on. You bought new ones. You spent your money on the new ones. The old ones need to go in the trash. Stop it. So just identifying that and working forward in it is important. Reading a book that's going to take me out of scarcity mindset is big. I'm reading a finance book right now. Well, it's I guess financial wealth. It's called I Will Teach You to Be Rich, and by Ramit Sethi. So I'm going to talk about that probably in an AmyTV book club really soon. But that's helping me to think more abundantly. So just noticing where are the mindset challenges and what can you do to work against them or work toward something more positive. If the mindset challenge is, I can't do it because of my circumstances, can you either read a biography of somebody who may have had similar circumstances to see how things changed for them? Or can you just read how somebody would advise you to do something anyway about it in a more nonfiction book? That's what I recommend. I always pick up a book if I feel like there's one specific thing where I'm struggling. If I'm struggling in it, I'm telling myself a story about it that is keeping me from getting better. And I need someone else to tell me a story, which is what books are for. So that's what I do. The other thing is just a lot of this other stuff, right? If you always start the day scrolling Instagram and never really take the time to think about what's important to you and what you've done to have a win lately, when you just see the rest of the world having things hunky-dory all the time, that's a negative to me. I think it's really, really important to make the time for yourself to get clear. I want to talk about this in a future video. Somebody was talking about how the testimonials in my book, Good Morning, Good Life, a lot of them did not take my exact advice that I give in the book. And on that note, I just want to say it's really important to note that not everyone's morning routine is going to be the same. But if you keep having the same morning routine and that's giving you a state of life right now that you're unhappy with, that's a pretty strong indication you need to change your morning routine. If you see someone is on their phone first thing in the morning when they wake up and that's just how they operate and they're going, and their name is Katie Couric, well, she's done a lot in her life to reach a level of success. She's probably doing just fine, and she doesn't need to do morning pages because it's not going to serve her at this stage of the game. If for some reason she's in a rut, she's probably going to change that morning routine. She's probably not going to look at her phone right away. So it really depends on where you are at this moment, and I think that's where our mindset challenges come from, is seeing too much that is not us and thinking that we are lacking in how we are and what we do and what we've achieved and what we have, and not being grateful for what we have and being grateful for our own mind to be able to come up to our own conclusions and create our own goals and list our priorities and be able to stick with it. That's just a couple things I think you could do if you need to change your mindset. But the biggest thing is it's a win if you know that this is a challenge for me right now. This is a thing I need to work on in my mindset. Now it's just a problem to solve. It's just, where can you find the guidance from someone you trust to kind of get you over that hump? So really digging into not just being mad at your mindset, but saying, okay, it's not my whole mindset. It's this one or two pockets of things that I need to improve on. The more you focus on that, I think the more you're going to be able to feel a little bit of relief that you're not totally screwed up. We're not totally screwed up. It's just a couple of things that we can always fine tune, and we have to work at it every single day. Somebody said dealing with anxiety. I do want to talk about this because I don't have a lot of anxiety in my life, maybe because of the things that work for me and that I continue to do to make sure that they work for me. The day after my birthday, I had a lot of anxiety, and it was just because of the nature of what was going on in the world and coming out and really having a conversation about stuff that I have not been in the habit of having a conversation about, and just not wanting to feel like a disappointment to people. I couldn't stop my heart from racing for an entire evening, and I just couldn't think about anything else, and I was super anxious, and I was on my phone a lot, and I just felt like I had to be, and it was a lot. And so I will say that I think I had a little bout of anxiety. I'm not saying that it's something I'm very versed in, because I know I don't feel like that on a regular basis. It is not a consistent thing. It's not a once a week thing. It's not a daily thing. It's not an hourly thing. So start with that. But I do want to say that there are solutions for anxiety. And again, it's an everyday battle. It's something that you have to work on every single day. It depends on who you are and what those solutions are that are best. And I hope that for the most part that they are natural and that it's about you growing with your mindset and your abilities. What I also noticed about anytime I've had anxiety, it was like I didn't have something big enough to focus on. And this tends to come from us not setting high enough goals. We don't set high enough goals because we don't think we can do it. And so then we're not working on anything that really drives us with purpose. And so everything around us just tends to give us more anxiety. I feel like we would get less anxiety about the petty small things if we remembered the really big things, which is why I talk about why your why is so important on a regular basis to keep in mind. It's so things like anxiety can potentially fall back or be lesser than. My friend Sarah told me that one anxiety tip that she learned was that she keeps an orange in the freezer. And apparently, if you're feeling anxious and you take the orange out of the freezer and you hold it, it will shock you into the present moment. And I think that's a fun tip. I don't know if it sounds like it'll work for you, then totally do it. But I think the key thing there is how do you rip yourself into the present moment? Because anxiety really is probably worrying about something that's not even a problem at the moment. It's probably worrying about something that isn't a problem yet, but could be, and that really gets to you because you don't want that to be the case. You don't know how to prevent it. I'm sure there's a lot of other reasons for your anxiety, but just looking for opportunities to say, I'm going to do something to shock myself into the present moment or change my state, as Tony Robbins would say. That I think is really key. When I was feeling very, very anxious, I knew that first of all, I wasn't going to drink a glass of wine. I wasn't going to do anything like that because I just feel like that takes me to a more negative place if I'm in a negative place. But I knew I had to go to bed early. I was like, my best chance at beating this right now is sleeping it off. And that's what I did, and that worked for me. And the next day, I made sure to have ample time for my morning routine, do whatever it took to just make sure that I could stay in a super positive state. That went well for me, so hopefully that helps. Where did you grow up? I mean, like the state, and what languages do you speak? I grew up in Ohio. We still live in Ohio. I convinced my husband to move here when he married me. Actually, when he proposed to me, I moved him here. I love it here. It's like the best of all the worlds in Columbus. Work-life balance, being young, being an entrepreneur. I like to say I'm still young, even though I just had a birthday. But yeah, I love it here. I don't know if we'll be here forever, but I am milking it for whatever it's worth. I never moved. Since my mom moved us here when I was very little. And I speak English. I took 7 years of Spanish, so I've got that. In like very, very, very casual responses. But I would like to learn more Italian. I've been working on Italian. I'm finding that knowing a little bit of Spanish is helpful, but it also is hindering because there's so much of Spanish that's baked into me that's not the same in Italian. So still trying to work on that a little bit. How do you stay sure you are at the right track or on the right track of going after the life you want? I hear this a lot because I think we all get in our head of whether or not we should be doing what we're doing, or what if we pick the wrong thing, or what do we take the chance? And I've been there. I went to school for something and I got the job before I finished school, and then I was like, oh, I don't have time to go to school anymore, so I had to drop out of school to keep the job. Then I found a different career that I loved, so I kept jumping ship from things that were supposed to give me more security, make me feel like I was doing the right thing. And I think the biggest thing is that you have to follow, I don't want to say follow your heart or follow your gut, because I think those are contributing factors. But for the sake of example, you gotta just say like, follow your gut. If you really feel that you should be doing something and you're not 100% sure that it's the it thing, it's not the end of the life, like perfect dream scenario, and this is it, and we got to start that journey ASAP. I think it's okay. Did I think that social media marketing and freelancing and working for myself was going to be the game changer of my life? No, but I knew for a fact that I was way more excited about it, way more passionate about it, and so confident about it that I could build a business on my own and not have to rely on an employer. So I made that jump, knowing that I might have to go back and raise money on a campaign or go work for another law firm or go back to plan A, as it will. So I think it's important to just lean into the thing that feels like it's going to drive you forward, because especially if you think it's at least in the realm of the possibility of what your resume is going to be going forward, you can start to build it. For me, it was like, even if this isn't the thing, I think it's in this avenue. So I need to have things on my resume that contribute to that so that I can constantly be moving forward within it. Even if that meant I was going to get picked up by a marketing department somewhere, which almost happened immediately. I was constantly being hit up on LinkedIn within within 6 months of starting to work for myself because of the large retailers that are based here in Columbus saying, we want you to come work for our marketing department. You know, I was making videos and talking about my life and my work. So they really liked what I had to say and they wanted me to come work for them. And I was like, that's really cool, but I just started doing this. Like, I feel like I have to do it. So I was passing on those opportunities that could have been great paychecks, great 401ks, whatever the case. I just knew it wasn't right for me. So I think the big thing is that you don't always know, but you can always change. You can always pivot and you're never stuck. You're never going to get to a point. I feel like, I was just thinking this the other day. There used to be a time where it was like you couldn't job hop. And I think that's still kind of true depending on what corporate ladders you might be climbing. But it's like, if you are job hopping, at least you're trying so many things that you're going to get really clear if you're paying attention and you are mindful of where your head's at, of what you hate and what you love and what you're okay with and what you think could be the thing. At least trying some things, at least being able to say, no, I did that and I don't like it, is different than, oh, I don't think I would like that. Not giving something a chance is a totally different assessment. So I guess I would say that I never knew I was going after the life I wanted. I just kept leaning into the things that got me excited every day because I thought, to me, going to work and being excited about it every day sounds way better than working my whole life and not being excited until I retire. Like, that's just not how I'm going to live my life. Do you have any tips for job interviews? I think the one job interview I rocked was my last regular job. I was like, I went in for the interview. First of all, it was in the Wednesday newspaper. So the fact that, like, that's how I found the job, it was a very special time in history. I went in, I was dressed appropriate, I was there super duper on time, and I listened to the person who was interviewing me. Going in and being super duper prepared with all your answers and why you're the best and blah, 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 blah. Like, it just sounds rehearsed, I think. So just going in and saying, if you're hiring me, I'm supposed to be a solution for you. So I'm going to go in and hear, you know, what questions you have for me. And also I'm going to answer them, but be mindful of, like, where are those questions coming from? Do they sound like they are a direct issue with this position that I am filling? Maybe somebody didn't do a good job of it before, and that's something that's really important to them now. Because you will find usually when someone's getting hired for a position that definitely existed before, for me it was the receptionist position at a law firm, it's like you have to be able to hear, like, maybe where was the last person not on the mark, or how did they want it to improve, so that I can figure out if I'm a good fit in this situation. The next thing that I did is I followed up. I immediately dropped a thank you note in the mailbox as soon as I got out of the interview so that it would get delivered to her within 24 to 48 hours because I knew she'd be making the decision within about, I think I did the interview on like a Monday and they were going to decide by Friday. Well, that thank you note probably arrived on Wednesday because I got a call on Wednesday that I was offered the job. And I don't think it was just the thank you note. I think it's a culmination of things. And hopefully I was the best candidate. Then they didn't have anyone else that they were preferring at the front of the office. But the follow-up is so important because even if an employer chooses their top contender, it doesn't mean they're definitely going to take it. That person's probably interviewing lots of places. So being somebody, even if you happen to be second place, just being the person that was diligent enough to keep going back and saying, hey, by the way, did a couple research on some things you guys are doing, and I find this really interesting, or just acting like you kind of really like that job in particular and not like this is a million jobs I'm applying for and I've done a really good job of rehearsing my interview. I think that's big. Making the job feel as special as they want the person to be that they're going to hire. Are you child-free by choice? If so, what's your consideration? I'm child-free by choice. It's not that that's a forever thing. It's just that I've been child-free by choice. I was in a long-term relationship that was unmarried until I was 30, and then I met Vin, and we dated for a little while, and he proposed, and we got married, and now we've been married for 3 years, and we've been working really hard in the last 10 years, the both of us, 5 together. So because of lady products, yes, it's been by choice because I make that decision for myself, and when we decide that it's something we want to do, we're going to jump in with both feet, but we don't tend to do anything that we're not jumping in with both feet, so keep you posted on that. No, I'm not pregnant. To answer it the way I typically do. Is this my natural hair color? It looks so healthy. I would say that it's the top is closest. We've been doing this more like rooted look, and I'm trying to grow out like the blondie stuff that we did for a little while. But yeah, so I mean, dark brown, real dark brown. I just was looking at pictures in like a keepsake box recently, and it was very, very deep dark brown. So I think it's a lot lighter right now than my natural color. But I try to stay kind of close because I don't know. I didn't dye my hair for like almost all of my adulthood until probably 8 years ago, because I just didn't want to. I didn't want the maintenance, and now I'm very high maintenance, so I dye it all the time. What's your decorating approach to your new house? Personally, I am very, very focused on the decorating process right now because I need to love where I live. I think it's such an interesting time for all of us where work from home became very prevalent for people during quarantine and, you know, yada, yada, yada. But for me, I'm home all the time by choice as well. It's how I have built my business, and we're probably going to get rid of the office where my team was working because COVID showed us that it could be taken from us at any time from a health standpoint, and everybody's able to work just as efficiently from home. So with that in mind, I'm home all the time. I'm not like somebody who goes on a lot of vacations and works 40 hours a week someplace else. I'm here all the time, so I want to enjoy it. And I also love the idea of just being able to put a camera up wherever I am and talk to you, and it feel and look really good. So I think the approach for me is that I like very like muted colors, very beautiful colors, so that you can add like a pop for different seasonal things. So adding pops of color for like summer flowers, that's what I've been doing lately, is just like finding faux flowers to decorate the house with. But having like the blank slate to be able to adjust that on the fly when the holidays come around and things like that. So yeah, so I'll definitely be telling you more about that in the future. I'd love to hear how interested you are in it, because I think a lot of it's been happening on the Amy Landino offline channel. I actually deleted a lot of vlogs that I did talking about decoration in the house, because I started to get a little bit of imposter syndrome that like nobody would actually care what I thought and why I was buying different things for my house. So I would be very curious to hear if that's of any interest to you at all. When you first started your business, did you enlist your accountant right away? No, I didn't. Actually, my accountant found me through my significant other at the time, and he said, like, I want to help you. And he's been my accountant ever since. It's my boy, Nathan Kloster. Really appreciate him. Done Wisely Accounting. He is the best. I did not have an accountant right away. The first year, I just kind of went to an accountant that was recommended to me to file my taxes, and that was the first time I had ever had to pay the government taxes, obviously, because I had switched from having a regular wage job to making all my money myself, and therefore being responsible for paying my own taxes. But after that first year, I met my now accountant, and we have been hanging out ever since. Very, very useful. Very useful to have an accountant when you're in business, because money is a very important thing to manage no matter what, but definitely in business. This is the last one I will do. How old were you when you knew what to do with life? I'm 24 and I have no idea. I can tell you right now that when I was 24, I did not really know what I was doing either. Trust me. I was just getting started with all of this stuff, and I was like, oh, is this it? It's not like I knew that was what I was going to do for the rest of my life. I always compare it to my friend Lewis, who I grew up with, and ever since kindergarten, it was like we were all making clay mugs in art class, and we were lucky to get the handles to stay on, and he had like a dragon on his, and he was just always so talented from an artistic standpoint. He had the worst handwriting of all time, but he was always so beautiful at art, and it was like he just knew forever that he was going to be an architect, and he is. Now he's an architect in Chicago, and I just talked to him the other day, so this is like making me smile so much. But I'm not like that, you know. It was like I sang in the choir, but I was like, I'm not going to be a singer when I grow up. You know, you kind of have that fantasy for like 5 minutes, but I didn't know what I was going to do forever, and I definitely didn't know for sure even in my mid-20s. I think you just have to keep trying. We don't live in this world anymore where it's like you have to know at the beginning of life what you're going to do. It's okay to keep learning as you go, and there's people recreating themselves at the age of 50 and 60, and that's okay. So don't get too hung up on it. Just always be working towards something. Don't expect anything to be handed to you. Certainly not your destiny and what you're going to do with the rest of your life. You have to work toward figuring that out as well. So just keep trying things, keep doing things, keep finding where you feel like you hit your stride. When you find that thing that you feel like you could talk about for half an hour without stopping or without any preparation whatsoever, that might be close. That might be it. I always say that to people who are thinking about speaking or thinking about being a content creator. Like, well, if somebody put you on the spot to talk about it, how long would you be able to talk? If it's only like 2 or 3 minutes and then you're struggling, that's probably not your bag, but like something else might be. Thank you so much to those of you who sent in questions. Sorry the room got super dark super quick, but dang it, I just just gotta do the thing, you know? Make sure you follow me on Instagram so that you can submit a question next time we do a little Q&A, and be sure to check out my vlog that will be out this Friday over on Amy Landino Offline. That's all for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it as always. Make sure you subscribe for good vibes, kiss the ones you love, and go after the life you want. Cheers. Everyone in my family has puppy fever right now. Not me. Okay, let's do this. You're squeaking outside. Vin? See, he ignores me, even though I know he can hear me. Vin! He's literally, like, the walls are thin. The walls are thin. He can hear everything. Hey. Yeah? I'm talking to you, yes, because you're squeaking outside my door.
What's up?
I'm asking you not to squeak outside the door.
I'm not leaving.
Okay.
How's the light?
It's fine. What do you think?
Oh, great. Looks good.
I think so too. Thanks.
Sure.
Okay, to be fair, he had those stupid AirPods in that are soundproof, so maybe he couldn't hear me. I don't know. How long have I been filming? Like a really long time. I should probably wrap this up. Nah.